Hi guys, my name is Tatiana Medintseva and you are on my crochet channel. In this video we will finish crocheting this beautiful unicorn. This is the third and last part of the masterclass. You will find links to the first and second parts in the description under the video. Also in the description under the video you will find a link to my Etsy shop, Medintseva Toys. In the shop you can purchase patterns for crocheting toys in PDF format. Let me remind you that in the previous part we ended up sewing the head to the body of the unicorn. Indescribable beauty. Now I'll show you how to make a flounce and a skirt. We begin to make a flounce, a decorative part of clothing with a wave-like shape. We will use the pink thread that was used when crocheting the body. Insert the hook at the junction of two colors. Grab the working thread and make one single crochet. Tighten the thread. Now insert the hook under the next stitch and make the second single crochet. In this way we will make single crochets until it reaches our arm. I hope I explained clearly. We insert the hook into the stitch as shown on the screen and make regular single crochets. We crochet all the stitches up to the arm. We've reached the point. Now we need to make 10 chain stitches. The number of chain stitches you have may be different. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We check whether this number of chain stitches is enough or not. We attach a chain of chain stitches behind the arm. Insert the hook into the stitch in the same way and make one single crochet. Now we also do the required number of single crochets along the back until the next arm. The last single crochet near the second arm. On this side we make the same number of chain stitches as on the first side. I make 10 chain stitches. We attach a chain of chain stitches using a single crochet. We got to the point where we started crocheting a flounce. You can leave it as is. But I want to make 2 more single crochets in each stitch and see what the future flounce will look like. Here we insert the hook immediately into the next stitch. We don't make any slip stitches. Make 2 single crochets in each stitch. I'll now check how best to do it: 2 single crochets in one stitch or 2 half double crochets. In general, I tried crocheting in 2 ways. Conclusion: beautiful in any case. Therefore, the flowers can be made here using half double crochets and single crochets. My final version: 2 single crochets in each stitch. We crochet the entire row with 2 single crochets in each stitch. Above the arms in a chain of chain stitches, we also insert a hook into each stitch and make 2 single crochets. Crochet in a circle yourself until the end of the row. The second row is complete. I finished crocheting to the beginning. Here we are making a regular slip stitch. We cut the thread and need to hide the thread inside. Straight the thread through the stitches. These are the flowers I managed to make on the dress. It's very beautiful, I like it. Now let's make the skirt. The hook is the same, number 4 mm. You can take yarn of a different color. I will use the same yarn. I start crocheting the skirt somewhere on the back. You must remember that we left the front wall of loops in order to make the skirt. I need to see which row we crocheted through back loop only. It was the 11th row. That is, the front wall of the loops in the 11th row remained free. Now we will crochet a skirt using this front wall of loops. Insert the hook from top to bottom into any stitch. Take the required thread, attach the working thread and make a loop like this. Now we hold the toy in this position and we'll crochet it as if from below. For the skirt we will use half double crochets to make the skirt fluffy and voluminous. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch and grab the working thread. We crochet these 3 loops at a time. And now we make one more half double crochet in the same stitch. That is, we'll make 2 half double crochets in each stitch. I'll show you one more time. We have made a yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch. This is how we take a loop. Pull out the working thread and make 3 loops on the hook at a time. This is called a half double crochet. And we do the same half double crochet one more time in this stitch. Do 1 half double crochet again. In this way we need to crochet the entire first row of the skirt. Here you can see that the crocheting has moved down 1 row. These are the loops. So we will also need to shift. Here is the front wall of the loop, but it is no longer here. Therefore we go lower. Here there is a front wall at the white loop. That is, we always need to crochet exactly at the front wall of the loop. We finish in a circle ourselves. I just decided to make the skirt fuller. We make 3 half double crochets in 1 stitch. In general, we do everything that I told you, only 3 half double crochets in 1 stitch. It seems to me that if we do 2 half double crochets, the skirt will not turn out the way I imagined. Therefore, we make 3 half double crochets in each stitch. Thanks to 3 half double crochets and 1 stitch, you will get a beautiful fluffy skirt. We finish making the first row ourselves. The first row is finished. It turned out to be a very beautiful wavy skirt. Now it remains to make one more row, just 1 half double crochet in each stitch. We make the same stitches as in the first row, only we make 1 half double crochet in one stitch. Here I don't make slip stitches. I just make a yarn over and immediately start crocheting the next row. Insert a hook into each stitch and make 1 half double crochet. I'm already finishing the second row. Here we make a slip stitch into the next stitch. Cut the thread. Pull and tighten the thread. Using a hook, we pull the working thread to the other end of thread. Simply thread the working thread through the stitches and pull it out near the other end of the thread. We tie the ends of the thread together into a knot. Now, using a hook, we pull the thread through the stitches to this side of the toy. Here, too, I pull it through the stitches one more time to tie a knot. Of course, you don't have to do this and immediately hide the ends of the thread inside the unicorn's body. In this case, I'm showing you exactly how I do it. The knot is tied. Now the ends of the thread can be hidden inside. And I'll show you how beautiful it turned out. Just look at this beauty. It became cloudy. Outside the window, the entire sky was covered with clouds. Therefore, I cannot show you this wonderful toy in all its glory. The waves on the skirt can be straightened in different ways. Everyone does it to your own taste. Thanks to 3 half double crochets and 1 stitch, the skirt turned out to be very airy and voluminous. You can make different patterns on the skirt. You can make both large and small waves. I think it turned out very beautiful. It was the right decision to make 3 half double crochets and 1 stitch. Now I'll show you how to make ears. One ear is already done. I will crochet the second ear together with you. White yarn. Let this beauty line on the table like this. We make a loop and 2 chain stitches, and in the first stitch we make 6 single crochets. In the second row, 1 single crochet and 1 increase, and do this until the end of the row. We can do this 3 times. At the end of the row there will be 9 single crochets. So I make 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch 1 increase is 2, 3. 1 single crochet is 4, and 1 increase is 5, 6. 1 single crochet is 7, and 1 increase is 8, 9. In the third row, we make 2 single crochets and 1 increase, and do this until the end of the row. We can do this 3 times. At the end of the row, there will be 12 single crochets. 2 single crochets and 1 increase are 3, 4. 5, 6, and 1 increase is 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 increase is 11, 12. Be sure to turn it right side out. In the 4th row, we make 3 single crochets and 1 increase, and do this until the end of the row. We can do this 3 times. At the end of the row there will be 15 single crochets. In the 5th and 6th row, we make 15 single crochets in each row. These rows are done. This is what a unicorn ear looks like now. In the 7th row, we make 3 single crochets and 1 decrease, and so on until the end of the row. We can do this 3 times. The 7th row is done. There is 1 more row left to do. In the 8th row, we make 2 single crochets and 1 decrease, and do this 3 times just until the end of the row. The combination is done 1 time. Again, 2 single crochets and 1 decrease is the 2nd time. And 2 single crochets and 1 decrease is the 3rd time. In the next stitch we make a slip stitch and cut the thread. Pull and tighten the thread. We straighten the ear. Crochet the 2nd ear in the same way. Now let's make a horn for the unicorn. Any color, I decided to make it in this pink color. Let's start as usual, loop and 2 chain stitches, and in the 1st stitch we make 6 single crochets. In the 2nd row we make 6 single crochet. We simply make 1 single crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn it right side out. We hide the end of the thread inside. In the 3rd row, we make 1 single crochet and 1 increase, and do this until the end of the row. We can do this 3 times. At the end of the row, there will be 9 single crochets. 1 single crochet is done, and now 1 decrease is 2, 3. 1 single crochet is 4, and 1 increase is 5, 6. 1 single crochet is 7, and 1 increase is 8, 9. The 3rd row is ready. In the 4th row we make 9 single crochets. I decided that 1 row is not enough, so we make 1 more row. 9 single crochets in 5th row. Ready. Here is a small horn. In the next stitch we make a slip stitch and cut the thread. Leave the end long enough to sew the horn to the unicorn's head. Add some filler to the horn. And now we'll immediately sew the horn to the unicorn's head. added filler to the horn. Now let's sew the horn to the head. We attach the horn to the head in this position. The thread is on the side. We sew in a circle, nothing complicated. We insert the needle alternately into the horn and into the head. I want to grab it with the thread from this side. We always make sure that we sew the horn exactly in the middle. I decided to mark on several sides so that I could sew exactly in the middle. I sewed the horn to the head a little. We take that the horn is in the middle. My unicorn's horn is slightly tilted forward. Sew in a circle yourself. This is how I managed to sew a horn onto the unicorn's head. I show you from all sides. Now let's sew the ears to the unicorn's head. I have already threaded to the needle with a blunt end. First I kind of sew the bottom of the ear together. We thread the needle through the outer stitches and the bottom of the ear and then tighten the thread. This makes the bottom of the ear appear more rounded rather than flat. The lower part of the ear turned into a tube. One more time, I thread the needle and thread through the outer stitches only a little higher. This is what the ear should look like. On the left is the completed ear, on the right is the ear that is not yet made. Now we can sew the ears to the unicorn's head. Everyone sews according to your own taste, where you like it most. This is how we put the ear to the head and sew it in a circle. We sew the ears on ourselves, it's simple. That's how I managed to sew the ears to the unicorn's head. This is such beauty, I show it from all sides. All we have to do is crochet the curls and sew them to the head. We also need to make a small tail of curls. I'll show you how we make curls. Hook number 4 mm. We insert the hook into any part of the head where you like, where the curls should be made. You can make as many curls as you like. At the moment, I also don't know how many curls I will do. I'll show and tell you how everything is done. It seems I'm not explaining anything to you. I'll start again. Insert the hook into the loop anywhere. We grab the working thread with a crochet hook and make a kind of loop. The thread is attached. Now we need to make 50 chain stitches. You can do more, you can do less. The length of the curls will depend on this. "50 chain stitches done. Now, from the second stitch from the hook into each stitch along this chain of chain stitches, we will make 3 single crochets. So, I inserted the hook into the stitch and make the first single crochet. In the same stitch, the second single crochet, and in the same stitch, the third single crochet. In the next stitch we also make 3 single crochets. In this way, we continue to make 3 single crochets in each stitch. Thanks to 3 single crochets in one stitch, 1 curl is obtained. You can see that the crocheting curls right away and holds its shape well. When all the stitches along the chain are crocheted to the end, that is, to the head, we insert the hook into the same stitch with which we started and make a slip stitch. Cut the thread, pull and tighten the thread. Here we tie the ends of the thread together into a knot. Using a hook, we hide the ends of the thread inside the head. You can see that the curl is not twisted correctly. This can be easily corrected and twisted in the right direction. This is how beautiful it turns out. Curls in the form of a spiral. One curl of the unicorn is ready. You can make longer curls, then you need to make more chain stitches. For me, this is the perfect length, just down to the skirt, since we will still have a tail. I still don't know the exact number of curls I'll be doing. We'll see. I still want to make one curl here. By the way, the front curls can be made shorter, for example 30 or 40 chain stitches, so that the curls in the front are not very long, about this length. In general, all this is your imagination, so we design the curls ourselves. I also make the tail from several of these curls. You can make 3, 4 or 5 curls. For the tail we make 15 chain stitches. That will be enough. And then, in the same way, in the opposite direction we make 3 single crochets in each stitch. Let me remind you that I have made 50 chain stitches on my curls for head, but you can do more or less. I'll do all this now and show you the finished version. I haven't completely finished it yet, but I decided to show the unicorn in this state. These are the curls I have. Now I'll tell you what else I wanted to do. I wanted to make a bow right here, urgently. So now I'll show you how to make a bow. Perhaps someone doesn't know how to crochet a bow. We make a loop and 6 chain stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we make 2 yarn overs. Insert the hook into the very first stitch, pull out the working thread and crochet the first 2 loops. Grab the working thread with your hook again and make the next 2 loops. And again we grab the working thread and crochet everything that remains. We repeat one more time. 1 treble crochet. 2 yarn overs are done. Insert the hook into the very first stitch, pull out the working thread and pull through the first 2 loops. So to speak, the first yarn over. This is the second yarn over. And we finish. Now we make 5 chain stitches. And in the same first stitch where we crocheted before, we make a slip stitch. The first half of the bow is ready. Now we need to make the second half of the bow. We make 6 chain stitches. 2 yarn overs. We repeat everything we did in the first half. 2 yarn overs are done. Crochet the first 2 loops, the second 2 loops, and what's left. Again we made 2 yarn overs, and in the same first stitch, where we crochet everything, we make the first 2 loops, the second 2 loops, and what's left. Now we make 5 chain stitches and a slip stitch into our very first stitch. Cut the thread, Leave the end long enough to wrap the bow around the middle. First unwrap the short end of the thread. Now we wrap the long end of the thread. In this way we form a bow. You should get a beautiful bow. I am almost finished wrapping the thread. Here I cut off the extra end of the threads like this. Take a regular needle and thread. Here we need to sew the ends of the thread so that the bow doesn't unravel. Ready. Using the same needle and thread, sew a bow to the unicorn's head. I want to sew a bow in this place, near the left ear, next to the curls. And we finish making curls so that everything is beautiful. My unicorn is ready. I have done everything. It turned out to be a really beauty. For the tail I made 4 curls. The curls start right under the skirt. The only thing is that I decided to make not 15, but 20 chain stitches. Therefore, for the tail we make curls of 20 chain stitches and then in the opposite direction 3 single crochets in each stitch. And this is how beauty should turn out. I made 14 curls on my head. The curls are made in 2 rows. Now I'll try to show you. In the first row I made 8 curls. And 6 curls are done in the second row. This is how my curls are arranged, one after another, through one stitch. And I managed to make such beauty. This is what a unicorn looks like from the back if I lift the curls up. It turned out to be a really beautiful and chic unicorn. I hope you got the same gorgeous toy and you liked this masterclass. If so, then I look forward to your feedback. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already, and see you soon. I wish you all the best.